All right, well, I would like to welcome you to the very first Service Unit 639 recording of an enrichment. A lot of times I put these presentations on after a leader meeting. Oh yeah, my name's Amy Brown, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. I put these presentations on after leader meetings, and not everybody can come to a leader meeting. And when I sent out a survey last year to the service unit, a lot of people said, well, they kind of would like to see these online. And so I'm recording this. This may be a horrible idea. Nobody likes it. Nobody watches it. But we're just going to try it anyway. And if for some reason you're not from 639 or you're not from this council, you will probably watch this and say, this is the worst training I have ever seen. Well, I would like to stress, it's not a training, it is an enrichment. And it does not take the place of the training that our council puts on. You can find that at this address. And again, this is not a training. I did not take in the facilitator training. These are enrichments. So let's go on and get started. This is a Brownie enrichment. So whether you're new or old to brownies, you're welcome to watch this. I'd like to thank Bonnie and Lois and Jennifer for being my guinea pigs a couple of months ago, putting this on. And anyway, let's get started. Now, what you're seeing here, this is a lot of really wordy things to make it look educational. I'm not going to read through this, but basically brownies, all this is saying is basically brownies are a little more mature than daisies. Yep. Now, here's some more stuff. You can read through it. The moods may change from minute to minute. That could be somebody that's menopausal, but it applies pretty much to any child. So let's just stick it in here anyway. At the bottom, I don't know what social telephoning is, but it sounded, kind of formal. So I just left it in there. Now the brownie ring, this is a big component of a brownie meeting. And basically all the brownies sit in a circle on the ground, and then you try to, depending on your knees and all that sort of thing. This is a really good way. I did this when I led both brownie levels, and I found it was just a really good way to keep the girls' attention, kind of bring them in close. It made it easier for them to, to talk and to speak up. Another thing I would do is to create a team agreement. Now, that's just another word for rules, but we don't want to call them rules because that sounds kind of harsh. So basically you just work with the girls and you talk to them about, what are some things that we want to do during a meeting, or not do, and keep it positive. In other words, don't talk when someone else is talking. Just say, let's respect each other, that sort of thing. Most of them, they can come up with it from school, but just kind of try to put a positive spin on it. And then sometimes I've heard people say, well, have like a consequence. So in other words, like if the girls break the team agreement, what are the follow-ups? And ask them, say, what do you think should happen? And there may be a girl that says, kick them out, but say, well, no, let's maybe talk to the girl first, and then, eventually have to talk to the parents. But, just make this real easy. I suggest printing it out or writing it down and bring it to each meeting so that you can refer back to it. This is, we always talk about girl-led in Girl Scouts, and girl-led, there's a progression to it, starting with daisies, we try. Girl-led, you can really start to work with them more on making decisions. Now, you still have to kind of limit it. You can't say, what trip do you want to take? And then they'll say Disney World. Well, usually they say Great Wolf Lodge. But anyway, what I did is I gave them a limited amount of choices to choose from. And that way you weren't just like throwing it open to the world. One way that I've done it is to give everybody a sticky note and have the choices. They can go up, write what they want on the sticky note, put it where they want. Another thing I've done before is give them tickets and give them 3 tickets or 5. And like, for example, if they're picking out badges, you lay the badges out, let them have time to read them and look at them, and then give them the tickets and say, put the ticket that you want to do badge the first, or the first badge. And if you want to put 3 tickets down on one badge, or 2 tickets down on this one and maybe 1 on this one, that's fine. Or if you want to put all 5 on one, that's cool. And then you count up the number of tickets and then go from there. And then, always tell someone's disappointed, say, we're going to do these in order, and hey, you may find out this is something you really like. Also, I would also talk to them, go in and start getting them in the business of making long-range plans and goals. The graphic that you see here, that's really similar to what you find on page 8 and 9 of the handbook and the Girl's Guide. But it's just a good way to, kind of make them start thinking outside the box and down the road. Definitely get them actively involved in meetings. You've probably heard of caper charts. If you haven't, just do a search, Pinterest or whatnot, and don't get overwhelmed, because some people go crazy with those things. It's not necessary. Another way that I've seen is the it and other bag. And you just put slips of paper, and it's got the girl's name on the it. And if you've got different jobs, like pass out the snack or clean up, maybe not everybody needs to clean up, but you know what I mean, like pass out the pencils. You just draw a name from the it and then put them in the other. And then obviously when it is empty, you start from the other, and vice versa. Another way I've done it, I usually, in my meetings, I never really had enough capers for us to do. So what I did is I had popsicle sticks, and I'd write the name of the girl on each popsicle stick. And we would randomly draw it, and she would get to be the assistant troop leader for the meeting. And she would do all the things like, help pass out the scissors and the pieces of paper and whatnot, maybe write stuff on the board. And then what I would do is put the date of that popsicle stick, date of the meeting on the popsicle stick, and then put it, different place so that it's not chosen. And that way everybody gets a chance, and it's just really random. And that's always worked really well for me. Now this is the Twist Me and Turn Me. This is the Brownie story. It's been passed down through Girl Scouts and Brownies. You can find the whole thing on page 18 where you can read it. This is something good. The story is good to read at an investiture or a bridging ceremony. And it's the Twist Me and Turn Me and Show Me the Elf. I looked in the water and saw myself. And it's a really neat story. It's about Marion and Betty, and they're really messy kids. Imagine that. And they go to see the wise old owl, and this is not the owl with the Tootsie Roll. How many licks does it take? Not the same owl. They learn this poem. They realize, oh, I'm the brownie. They go back, clean the room, and unfortunately that does not work for me. I've tried to get my daughters to do that, and they still do not clean. But it's a neat story. Don't worry, you will not summon Elf on the Shelf by saying this. So it is, in all seriousness, it is a neat story to share, and the girls really like it. They seem to really respond to it. Now here's the Brownie Smile song. Unfortunately, I cannot get the thing to play, the song to play, and record this at the same time. So I'm not going to sing it for you, but it's really neat. There's there's gestures that go along with it, and the girls love it. It's, again, something that's been passed down through the ages. Highly recommend learning it. Just go to YouTube and you'll find it. Now, a few things that are different, and this is kind of where just so you know, if you're watching this is not, I added some different things than what the official training is from the council. So this is not, I'm not just rehashing it. One thing here with the membership tab that's different is you see their membership pin is the Brownie elf, and that is different from the flower, the daisy that's on the daisies, and then that'll be different from the regular membership pin that juniors and up. But it looks like this. Also in brownies, they get to choose a crest. I highly recommend do not show them the pictures of all of the crests, because all of them will choose the unicorn, and we need to have some variety out there. So you can find the meanings of all the crests. I believe it's in the Girl's Guide. If not, do a search. And again, I wouldn't put them all out there, because there's a lot, and that will be overwhelming. So have them vote on the words, and tell them the meanings, and say what fits our troop the best, and have them do it that way, and then reveal the picture. How are badges earned? Honestly, it's kind of self-explanatory, but just so you know, it's different. I know that the Daisy badges, now that they have them, are 3 steps. Brownies are 5. You have to do all of the steps, and within the step, there are 3 choices. Now, you don't have to do these. Sometimes people get confused. You do not have to do these exactly as it's written. You can do one of them or more than one, or you can do something similar, just kind of in the same vein. Like I said, some people get really hung up and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't do it exactly the way. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, it just needs to be in the same spirit. That's basically what it's saying. And, don't worry about how many you get done during a meeting, because this is not a race. It's about the experience. If you go on a field trip and only earn 2 steps, that's fine. It's about what they learn and all that sort of thing. There are brownie journeys. These are the 3 classic ones, if you will. You can find them in books, or you can find them in the volunteer toolkit. And they are 6 sessions, which is less than what's in the books, which is usually like 8 to 10. So they've kind of streamlined them. I have not actually looked at the plans themselves, so I can't say if they're better or whatnot. Since the classic ones are so long, a lot of times you can find the journey in a weekend. Just do a search online again, or Pinterest, to look for those. Personally, if you are new to Girl Scouts somewhat, I would start with Brownie Quest, because a lot of people put the journeys down. I'm not a big fan of them, but I found that Brownie Quest does a really good job of explaining the 3 keys to leadership. Discover, connect, and take action. And it's a good introduction for the girls too. So if you're going to start with any kind of journey, I would definitely look at Brownie Quest first. There are some journeys that have come out recently. These are the STEM ones. They're only found in VTK, Volunteer Toolkit. They're the programmer, citizen, scientist, and engineer. There's also the outdoor journey, which is basically those 3 badges: first aid, hiker, and cabin camper, and then they slap the take action project at the bottom, at the end. So again, it's pretty straightforward. There are also brand new brownie badges in July that have been released recently. So if you're watching this like in the year 2021 or 2022, this is old, but oh well. There are now progressive badge series about coding. Again, we're really heavy hitting the STEM thing. Not sure where we're going to go for this. Maybe nuclear fusion. Not sure. There are also more outdoor badges, which is awesome. There's a trail adventure and a snow or climbing adventure. And just FYI, all 3 of these, the coding, trail adventure, and snow and climbing adventure, these are badges that are from all levels, which is great. There are some additional awards that you can earn. There's the Safety Award, My Promise, My Faith. You can earn a different award. Well, you can see there's a set of 2, one each year, and that basically the girl and the family can kind of assimilate their faith into the Girl Scout law. New is the Cookie Entrepreneurial Family Award. This is going to take the place of the cookie pen, so that is being retired. I have personally not seen the requirements for it. I know you can find it on the GSUSA website and also within VTK. It's a PDF download. There's also a Bridge to Juniors. That's got, I think, 2 steps. that you do before you earn that. And again, if you're kind of new and you're looking through the Girls Guide, you'll see this make a badge. That no longer exists, unfortunately. But I just wanted to mention that in case you saw that and was like, what is this all about? There are also, this can also be earned by all levels, the World Thinking Day Award and the Global Action Award. Those are things that you can download from the GSUSA website as a PDF, and they're also in VTK. And I cannot remember, for some reason I'm thinking they're now, you can like add it as an activity plan. I can't remember if it's a separate PDF download or not, or if it's integrated into VTK itself. But oh, and by the way, these are different every year. They each have different themes that you work with, and so they change. Also, I'd like to note these awards can be worn on the front of the vest or sash, and since they're earned, but they are recognized as official GSUSA awards. There are also some awards where juniors and cadets can partner with Brownies. One is the Junior Aid. The juniors work with 3 meetings of any journey. And same with the cadet LIA. They can be earned with 3 sessions of a Brownie journey. Now, you not hear this, and since this is unofficial, I can say this, but you know, it's really hard to find a Brownie troop that is doing a journey at the same time that you would like to do this, and to try to coordinate it with the journey, because it's very involved, or, well, you know what I mean. So, you know, if you do it with a badge, it's okay. It's really okay. It's about the skills that they learn. Also, too, it can be kind of aggravating, well, a little interesting or whatever with the LIA, because the cadets would have to match it up with, you would have to find a Brownie troop that's doing a specific journey, the same journey that the cadets are doing. And I see where they were going with it originally, but that it just doesn't work. So just whatever's best for you. But it's really more about them working with them for 3 meetings. Here's some Brownie resources. This is my Dropbox of Brownie stuff, and it's just got different files and sample meetings, things I've downloaded from other councils. It also includes like a Brownie handbook. There's a really good one. It's kind of long, but it's just a good intro if you like to print stuff out and have a booklet. Highly recommend it. I can't remember what council it's from, but that's in there. Also, too, if you're in our service unit and you would like a copy of it, just let me know and I will print it off. Otherwise, you can download the PDF and I can send that to you. The council also has one. Just want to, put that in there, and got to support the council. It's somewhere on the volunteer tab, like under resources near the bottom. I can't remember offhand, but there is something. It's a lot shorter, but I personally recommend the really long one. It's very thorough. In our service unit library, there are, in case you're unaware, badges have been released since the original Girls Guide books, and there are also those badge add-on packets or whatever. And we have a notebook. We have a separate notebook that has all of them in there. So if you want to check that out, you're welcome to. Like I said, it's a separate notebook. We've got all of the original Journey books, girls and adults. We also have retired Brownie handbooks. Those are really good resources for you to look back and see, maybe for some ideas. There's also a Windward's HURT program from the Wisconsin Southeast Council. We have, I think it's for the Daisy, Brownie, and junior level, but that's a really good program to run. If you want to do something on a weekend, it would take up a couple meetings to do, so it may be, you can just kind of draw from it if you don't want to do the whole thing. That's it. So, like I said, I hope this was helpful. You may say this is the worst thing I've ever seen. This was such a waste of my time. Or, if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate it. Again, this is specific to 639, so it does have some stuff on there. So I hope if this works for some people, I hope to do some more in the future. I'll put them on YouTube and we'll just see what happens. So if you have any questions or if there's a topic that you would like to see at a leader meeting, just let me know. I will talk to you later.